two-time European champion, Saria Bonley of France, disappointed with her fourth-place finish at the Olympic Games, but she is now the top-ranked skater here and the world silver medalist last year in Prague.
Well, unfortunately for Saria, the rules of this technical program prohibit her from showing us just how good she can be, because she's one of the few women that can do a triple-triple combination, yet here in the technical program, she's only allowed to do a triple-double. One of the things that has perhaps hindered Saria over the years is her style of skating. It's very choppy, it's very quick. And one of the things that the judges are looking for is the skater's ability to show a number of different styles. And Saria tends to have difficulties when she tries to give you that long, flowing line. That's one of those characteristics of a well-rounded program.
From the others in this event.
Well, there's no better jumper in the women's event than Saria Bonley of France.
Here we see her combination, triple Lutz, excellent position, good flow, good speed.
I don't think she can do that any better than that.
And here we're going to see some of those interesting positions she hits in her combination spin. Creativity, one of the things judges are looking for.
Herr Marks and José Chouinard when we come back to Japan. The French delegation was unhappy with the technical program marks of Saria Bonley at the Olympics. Let's see what comes up here. Well, there's the 5.9 from Bulgaria, 5.9 from Belgium. Low mark, 5.5 from Hungary.
Question is, how does it stack up against Yuka Sato?
And now the second set, then a couple of 5.9s, but some artistic marks not as high. She has 4 first-place ordinals, 5 seconds, and she is behind the Japanese champion, Yuka Sato. Here she comes, the 3-time Canadian champion, 24-year-old José Chouinard of Rosemont, Quebec. After a disappointing Olympic game, she said she was lucky that she still had the World Championships. Let's see if she can take advantage of that. She looked wonderful in winning her qualifying pool.
Well, I think the change of coaches to Louis Stong this year has really helped her, and in particular her work with Sandra Bezic. She's always been a great jumper, but now she has the package. Very well-rounded skater now. triple Lutz double toe combination.
Well, following her Olympic performance, Jose summed up herself by saying, "I'm tired of saying the next time."
This might be it. Jose to Mark. She's a very well-liked skater. I think now she's giving them the opportunity.
Last jump requirement, her double Lutz.
This has been a very well-skated event.
I know that she's going to be delighted with this performance because her time between the Olympic Games and now was a very rough time for Jose. She tried to break in a new pair of skates. There were a lot of tears at the Granite Club in Toronto, but she went back to her old boots, and they've obviously got some magic still in there for her.
I've heard that story before.
There's her teammates, and the Canadian flags are waving here in Japan, and it's always great to see the Jose Chouinard smile.
Look at this triple Lutz. Just beautiful height. No hesitation at all. Probably the best in the competition.
Here's the one thing she had a little bit of trouble with, flying back sit spin. She gets a little out of shape there, but shows some patience and pulls it in down to complete the element.
Everything was good.
Embracing coach Louis Stong. Jose, known for her nerves, but she has looked so confident on the ice here. The required element marks 5.5 up to 5.8.
She says she's felt more nervous here than the Olympics, and that has helped her. It's helped her to concentrate.
And now the presentation mark. She has a first-place ordinal from Canada, seconds from Hungary and Germany. The rest are thirds, and that's where she stands, right behind Yuka Sato and Saria Bonnelly. And we'll have more from Japan after this. Back at the 94 Worlds in Makahari, where the women's technical program is complete. And let's check the standings. Yuka Sato, the Japanese champion, on top, ahead of Saria Bonnelly and Jose Chouinard. Two German women in the top 5. And a great result for Susan Humphries. She's in 10th spot. In 11th, the 13-year-old from the United States, Michelle Kwan. Now let's join Brian Williams with the Canadian champion.
Thank you, Chris. Jose, I have covered all 4 of your world championships, going back to Munich in '91. There was Oakland, Prague, and now Japan. You're happy, but I've never seen you this focused.
That's what I learned this year. I mean, I really focused for that competition. At Prague, I think I wasn't nervous enough. And for this one, I was. I don't know why. I really wanted for myself, and I got this focus right on time and right at the good place.
Well, Paul Martini said a few minutes ago that after Lillehammer, you were tired of saying next time.
It was making me sick. Like, it hurt so much. I didn't want to say next time, next time. This is it. This was the world that I really wanted to perform. So I'm going to stay focused for tomorrow.
All right, you're in great shape. What do you do tonight to prepare for the long?
I'm just going to relax, watch a little bit of dance, and I'm just going to
Stay focused.
stay focused.
All right, focus is the key. Jose Chouinard, good luck in the long program tomorrow. Speaking of focus, up next, a man that was focused last night. We'll have more from Elvis Stojko as CBC continues from the World Championships here in Japan. Speaking of champions, here is the world champion. Elvis Stojko joins us. We are going to continue a tradition in just a minute, but I want to know, how was last night for you? Did you get any sleep?
Well, I went to bed about 3:30, 4 o'clock. People were calling me for interviews and woke me up this morning, so eventually got to sleep and had enough sleep so I could come out and watch the gang today compete.
Well, you better get used to it. Your mother, Irene, is standing off camera. Apparently, her phone was ringing all night. I'm sure your dad, Steve, back in Richmond Hill, his phone was ringing off the hook. Let's continue this tradition. And what we do is we take the world champion through the 4.5-minute long program. It's a treat for the fans at home, for them to find out exactly what you're thinking. So, Chris, out in the truck, if you'll roll that videotape, the world champion takes us through.
Well, I guess the first part right here is to get the focus. I knew the other two competitors, Candelora and Urmanov, had skated pretty well, and I had to really focus. This whole beginning piece before the first jump was to center in and focus on the program and not get distracted by anything.
Are you nervous? Are you tense at all?
I guess the only tension that would be just before I step on the ice, and I'm trying to work out all the tense muscles and really get relaxed. And by the time I feel the ice a little bit, get used to the edges here in the crosscuts, I'm trying to feel every edge so that I can be patient with each jump. And the first jump sets up right here.
Is the ice different every time you come on?
Sometimes. Each competition is different. It depends where you are, but, you know, you got to make the best of wherever you are. You got to get used to it, too. So I guess the beginning of the program, that setup, is just to get myself into the ice and try to get myself relaxed and not to rush anything, because patience in this sport's a virtue.
You did the only quad. When are you thinking about it?
Well, I'm not thinking about it yet. I'm thinking about this axle toe first. There we go. And right about now, I'm setting up for this spin, concentrating, keeping those revs up so I don't get knocked for not doing too many revolutions. Right here, this is another focus point.
Now, you study martial arts. This is very much evident in your approach, the discipline, right?
Very much so. It's all a focus on where you're going to strike, I guess, if it's simply in striking boards or a person or in space or direction. And this whole setup is focused right into the quad. And right here, I'm really getting narrow focus. Right here, I'm thinking, just be patient. Just be patient on the second side of the jump right here. Patience, up, down, up, almost. And get back into the program.
How hard is it to go from maximum aerobic output like the quad to a very slow area?
It takes a little bit getting used to sometimes, especially when you do a big jump like that, to get back down into the program, settle in, especially in the slow piece. You don't want to get too excited. You want to breathe, give yourself time to relax, get set for the rest of